What if the Star Wars program was completed? What if I told you the United States once planned to build space lasers that could shoot down nuclear missiles from orbit? A trillion-dollar program that never came to be. But what if it had? In the depths of the Cold War, the world teetered on the edge of nuclear annihilation. In 1983, President Ronald Reagan unveiled the most ambitious military project in history, the Strategic Defense Initiative. The media called it Star Wars. This wasn't science fiction. By the end of this video, you'll understand what would have happened if the US had completed this project, and why some believe it could have sparked a new kind of Cold War in space. The year was 1983. The Soviet Union and the United States were locked in a nuclear standoff, one that could end humanity in minutes. One day, President Ronald Reagan stepped in front of the cameras and made an announcement that stunned the world. America would begin developing a defense shield in space. Lasers, satellites, particle beams designed to intercept and destroy incoming nuclear missiles before they hit American soil. It was called the Strategic Defense Initiative, but quickly nicknamed Star Wars. At its core, it promised to make nuclear weapons obsolete. Now, the US would build a shield, not just a sword. But the technology was decades ahead of its time. X-ray lasers fired from satellites, neutral particle beams, orbiting battle stations. It sounded like science fiction, though in many ways it was. But the research was real. The funding was also massive. And for a brief moment, the United States believed it could achieve total control of the heavens. So what if the Star Wars program was completed? A fully operational space-based missile defense system. The US could track every Soviet launch in real time. Lasers positioned in orbit could vaporize ICBMs before they left the upper atmosphere. Enemy satellites blinded or destroyed. A single nation would command space and redefine global power. The implications, earth-shattering. For one, the nuclear balance would vanish. If America could block any attack, it could act without fear of retaliation. This might sound like peace, but it's also the perfect recipe for provocation. Other nations, especially the Soviet Union, would panic. All allies and adversaries alike will scramble to adapt. Some nations will rush to develop new types of weapons, hypersonic missiles, stealth technology, or cyber attacks to bypass or disable the shield. Others will nurture fear that the US, emboldened by its invulnerability, might act unilaterally on the world stage. The arms race wouldn't end. It will mutate, spreading into space and cyberspace. The world will enter a new, unpredictable era, one where the balance of power is forever changed. A completed Star Wars program wouldn't just change Earth, it would militarize space. Think about it. Once we place weapons in orbit, the line between defense and domination disappears. If the US controls Earth's orbit, it could also control communications. Satellites could be disabled, navigation disrupted. Entire nations could be digitally blinded. Space would no longer be neutral. It would become a battlefield. And that would trigger a new kind of arms race, not just between superpowers, but among private tech giants, rogue nations, and cyber powers. Imagine Elon Musk, China, or Russia racing to build anti-satellite weapons, or even offensive orbital platforms. What began as a shield could easily become a sword pointed down at Earth. And once that threshold is crossed, there's no turning back. Here's the chilling part. Star Wars didn't fail because it was impossible. It failed because it was too possible. Critics feared it would give America too much power. Allies worried it would destabilize the world. And the Soviets? They feared the US was already building it and spent themselves into economic collapse trying to keep up. Some historians believe that fear was one of the final blows to the Soviet Union. So now it's your turn.